everybody, it's Dr. Bridget Young from babyformulaexpert.com. I'm coming to you from vacation. Is this dedication or what? I have P.D.'s here. Say hi, P.D. I have my beautiful sister-in-law and my precious nephew here. We're taking a break from dinner to talk to you about the very best foods to start your baby on when you introduce solid foods. I'm going to try to make this quick because we're going to go back and join the rest of the family. Michelle and I each have babies who are just 20 days apart, and they're around 7-8-ish months. So we have both started solids, and it's a really hard question to know what's best. So these are my general thoughts. The American Academy of Pediatrics, and so probably your pediatrician, will recommend that you start with a rice cereal. And like we're so legit in mom mode. We have baby cereal. Gotta keep an eye on PD because there's a river behind us. Ready to go. And I have very firm thoughts on baby cereal. So the reason that we as medical professionals recommend that you start with a cereal is that all baby cereal, thanks Michelle, she's gonna be sure he doesn't drown for me. All baby cereal is fortified with a lot of minerals, but particularly with iron and zinc. The reason breastfed, particularly babies, should start getting solid foods around 6 months is because their iron stores have been depleted, and there's not that much iron in breast milk. So two things follow that. One, baby cereal is recommended basically as just an avenue to deliver an iron supplement. It has nothing to do with the cereal itself. I mean, it's easy for the baby to eat, which is important, but it's not because of the nutritional value of the cereal. It's just because of the iron fortification. The other thing is, if you are feeding formula, your baby's getting a lot of iron from formula. There's way more iron in formula than in breast milk. So if you are feeding formula, I don't think you need to start with cereal. Go ahead and start with some actual real food because it's not as necessary for your baby to get an additional iron source. If you do start with cereal, I've got some more opinions. I'm very opinionated. Oh, she's so fabulous. She's out walking him around. Here are the two cereals that Michelle and I both have that we brought on vacation. We both have the Earth Express Band. She has a rice cereal, and I have the oat cereal. Now, I particularly prefer the oat cereal as opposed to the rice cereal for the following reasons. The oat cereal it's pretty processed in that they're both, one is based on oat flour, the other is based on rice flour. And on the ingredients, everything after the flours is going to be the exact same, and it's all just supplemental vitamins and minerals. But if you look at the nutrition label, make sure I'm looking at the right ones, the rice cereal is going to have only 1/2 gram of fat, 10 grams of carbohydrate, which makes sense, it's rice, right? No fiber, no protein. The oat cereal has a whole gram of fat, which isn't that much more, but it is double. So a little bit of fat, which I love fat for babies. I'm all about increasing the amount of fat our babies are eating. And it has 1 gram of fiber and 2 grams of protein. This means the glycemic index of the oatmeal cereal is going to be much lower than the rice cereal. So for the very first food you feed your baby's just been getting breast milk with formula. Breast milk and formula are 50% fat. So they don't spike blood sugar in the baby very much at all. And so I like to introduce a food that's not going to cause a really high insulin surge or a really big demand on your baby's pancreas, because the pancreas hasn't had to do very much. It's a tiny baby pancreas. It's just learning how to work. So I like the oat cereal for that reason. If you choose cereal, because it's going to have a little bit of a lower glycemic index, meaning a softer effect on baby's blood sugar. If you're feeding formula or you want some other perfect foods to start with, I kind of gave you a clue. I love fat. So we're looking for, if you have a breastfed baby, sources of food that provide iron and zinc. That's really what baby needs. And then ideally a way to get a little more fat in with the foods, because that's what baby is used to digesting. Also because fat tastes delicious, so it's going to be a more positive experience for them. Meat is a fabulous option. I know a lot of people cringe at that. And if you are just not okay with that, or you try it and your baby's not ready, it's okay. But meat is by far the best source of iron and zinc. So if your baby is exclusively breastfed, that's really something to consider. If your baby is even a little bit formula fed, hey baby, it's not as big of a deal. Other fats that I love to even mix in with the cereal or other foods are, and I love these, I travel with them. We're here on vacation and I travel with these. Organic coconut cream, which is, you know, when you have coconut milk and you put it in the fridge and the fat comes to the top, that's just the cream. I stir that into everything and it makes it taste good, so Vaughn loves it. And again, it also just increases the fat content. Avocado, right? Avocados, just mash them up, add them to anything. Organic butter and organic olive oil. I'll just splash a little bit in there. So those aren't good sources of iron and zinc, but they're excellent sources of fat to add to, like cereal or your pouch, your jar, you know, whatever you're feeding at the time. So, and the last one that's really awesome, if your baby's breast or formula fed, is egg yolks. So go ahead and splurge on the super ridiculously expensive eggs that are cage free, you know, like with everything's got in there, and like, you know, these are gonna last your baby forever. Hard boil them all, and then take just the yolks, not the white. Save all the yolks, mash them up. You can add a little breast milk or formula if you want it a little more liquidy, and then freeze them in an ice cube tray, and they'll last forever when your baby's little. And thaw one of those, and you can mix it with something or just feed it straight. Because if you think about it, an egg yolk is all the nutrients a baby chicken needs to grow. So it's full of every vitamin and mineral that a baby needs, and a lot of fat. So it's really the perfect baby food, especially if meat kind of skeeves you out to feed to your 6-month-old. I totally feed it to my 6-month-old, but everybody has different opinions, and you should do what feels best for you and your family. So those are my favorite foods to feed, and I'll just recap for people that are just joining. Caitlin is here. Caitlin, hi. This is so exciting. When choosing a cereal, remember, the reason cereal is recommended is literally just because it's fortified. So it's recommended basically because it's a multivitamin, not because of anything to do with the cereal itself. So if you're choosing a cereal, I personally prefer oat over rice cereal because it's gonna have a lower effect on the baby's blood sugar. And this is the baby's first food, and everything baby's eaten up until now has been very low glycemic, meaning not very much of a shock to blood sugar. So that's why I like oat. I do prefer an organic cereal. In full disclosure, everything I've talked about so far, there's a lot of great medical research to support. There is no medical research to support that organic is going to be better than not with baby food. But if it's the first food you're feeding your baby, I feel like, man, better safe than sorry, right? Their organs are so impressionable that you might as well choose organic, since we have so many options if you're in the US for organic baby food. So Earth's Best is the one that I use, the Earth's Best oat. It's not because of Earth's Best, it's because the Earth's Best is the only brand in my store that had oat cereal that was also organic. And it is a little confusing. Michelle pointed this out, that it says on the label, oh, for babies ready to move beyond rice cereal, which makes you think it wouldn't be a good first food. And then the rice says baby's perfect first food. So like, that's really hard. It makes parents feel like they have to choose the rice. The reason it says this is because I believe the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends rice cereal as the one of the perfect first foods. And I think basically that's because that recommendation was made before a lot of oat or other cereals were on the market. But trust me, the reason they're making that recommendation is because of all of the extra ingredients, the vitamins and minerals that are added, not because of the rice. It has nothing to do with the grain itself. So oat cereal is perfectly fine. And if you look, you know, you read down the amount of iron, thiamine, niacin, all those, they're going to be exactly the same between rice versus oat. If it's labeled baby cereal, those numbers are going to be the same. So it's very easy for you to switch between different grains. I hope that was really helpful. I hope that helps you Take some of the pressure off choosing a first food, which can be really hard, and the marketing makes it really difficult, and you're so worried about doing the best thing. So I hope this informs you about why we recommend particular first foods over the other. Remember, if your baby is formula fed, the decision's not really as big of a deal because your baby's getting a lot of vitamins and minerals from formula. If your baby is breastfed, please do choose foods that are rich in iron and zinc, like baby cereal or meat or egg yolks, and consider adding a little bit of fat in, because who doesn't love fat? But babies in particular thrive on a higher fat diet because that's what breast milk is, and formula. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is really exciting for me to do this on vacation. Michelle and Petey are coming back. We'll do a little tour. Here we go. Hi guys, Petey, say hi. We're out to dinner, so we should go back in and eat our food. Thanks so much for joining us. Look at Precious Rivers. Oh, he's not sleeping. Hi, Riv.
He's never
That's
sleeping.
my nephew, River. We're gonna go grab Petey before he runs into the river. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Leave a comment if you have something you want me to talk about, and sign up to receive our newsletter because it's full of awesome and great free tips. Talk to you later. Bye.